Yes. And not only that, more importantly, the 4 biggest core processors in the US, of which computer services is the 4th, are all publicly traded and have all been fantastic stocks for decades.
All been 100 baggers plus.
Yeah. So they've all been terrific stocks for like 50 years, or basically since they started. So that is a hint, and I've said that before about industries and stuff. If they produced billionaires, if they produced fortunes, if they produced 100 baggers and stuff, then that is a hint that industry is really good. Like, people argue about whether an industry is good or not. Well, if there's, if they created fortunes over time, basically, it's the best indication you have that an industry is good. Now, sometimes there's only a few winners in an industry. Is operating systems a good business? For one company, it was. For everyone else, not really. But it does create a mega fortune for someone in there. So it gives you a hint that it can be. Yeah. So in terms of the defense in depth thing, I think the important parts are, one, having and I've said this many, many times, I really think that 50% of the valuation of the decision to buy a stock, maybe not the valuation, is the industry that it's in.
Yeah.
And the other 50% is the business itself, especially the business model itself and its position in the industry. But that is true. So, and I think that is a defense in depth concept that's hard for people to understand sometimes. As an example, let's take a cement plant or something. If it's not being run the best in the world, I'm still kind of willing to buy one if it's at a really cheap price versus its capacity and stuff, because someone in the industry can take it over and run it right. So I would be open to that. There are assets like that. And it's not just that, it's Lime things and it's whatever things, industries where I feel that it's predictable enough that way and that someone could do that. There are other ones where it's somewhat similar. I mean, I talked about Virtue Motors before. Virtue Motors, if it was a retailer with the same economics and stuff in a more, in an industry that I felt was more, I don't know how to put it, a more difficult part of retail, a less reliable part of retail.
Clothing.
Than car dealers. I just have a feeling that car dealerships, we could get into it and stuff, but that in general, under different management stuff, could be run well enough. So I liked Virtue and the management and all that, but I'm just saying that there's a certain value to a somewhat successful or whatever Volvo dealership in a certain location that someone should be able to own it. And in fact, at some point, Volvo will say, someone's got to own this. And, you got to get out and this, has to get in because they need it. And so it has a certain value. And to some extent, that's true even if we talk about banks or something, right? So let's say you took a bank and they end up with poor management eventually on the lending side and stuff. That's really bad. They could ruin things and whatever. But if they have this amazing deposit base from the previous generations of who was running it and stuff, then actually that has a lot of value because it could be sold to another bank, basically. And so that has an enduring value that way, that you have that kind of defense in depth that we're talking about, which is a very Ben Graham concept. He liked something where there was both some earnings protection and asset protection. And that's the thing I think people overlook. What he talked about was, like, buy a low PE stock, but buy a low PE stock that's also a net. Don't buy a net that's never earned any money or anything. And don't just buy a low PE stock that has a really high price to book value, right? Because